And welcome. Welcome to the lunchtime edition of Armchair Travel, living like a local in. I'm going to do my little drum roll. I'll have to practice that shoulder shake. We are in Viva Brazil. And so for me, part of the experience of living or traveling to a different country is to be immersed in the local food, in the local markets, eating from local vendors. So I'm very excited to have Fernanda. Hola, Fernanda from Viva Brazil.
Olá, hello, Tami. It's very nice to be here with you. It was a pleasure meeting you and being here today,
Yes, so
sharing.
thank you. Thank you. I'm really excited to have you.
Thank you.
So I remember a few weeks ago, I met you at the farmer's market in
Mhm,
Kitchener.
mhm,
And I was looking for a friend, a present for a friend of mine who's Brazilian. And I'd
mhm.
asked him what was that one thing that he really missed about food in Brazil. And he mentioned cheese balls. And
Mhm.
imagine my surprise and excitement when I passed your stall and saw these cheese balls.
Mhm.
Right? So,
Yeah.
right, we're going to try these today. We're going to learn a lot more about that and other Brazilian food.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. I remember when you talked to me at the farmers market, and it's always good to bring this opportunity for local people
Hmm.
as well as Brazilians who are living here, because we definitely don't have this product here in our region.
Right.
Yeah.
And I did buy some for myself. So I bought one for him and one for me. So what exactly is Brazilian cheese bread? Like I have a copy of this here. What exactly
Yeah,
is
I have some baked here and I can show you, but basically it in the past they didn't have that much good quality wheat. So they started using this starch that's manioc starch. Manioc is a root that grows in Brazil, and it's also known as cassava. I think people here know better as cassava. So they had a lot of this starch instead of the wheat. And then they started making breads in the past, like 1800s. And so nowadays is very popular in Brazil.
okay.
But basically it's made of this starch, that's manioc starch, eggs, cheese, water, and oil. Basically is this. And we mix everything together and make the rolls. So we have the cheese bread. This one is the baked one.
Okay.
And you have this crunchy outside and very cheesy inside. Can you see here,
Oh
like
my
the
goodness.
cheese? Yeah.
See, attempting everyone, you know.
It's very famous in Brazil, and I can tell you it's delicious.
No, you're not going to tell me because I need to experience it for myself. So what we're going to do is I just read on the label here. It takes about 20 minutes to bake. So
Mhm.
I've actually asked my partner to put it in the oven for 20 minutes. And so while
Okay,
that's doing, we're going to talk about this and other foods in Brazil. And then I'm going to try it for myself. We'll try it together. How's that?
we will try together. Awesome, good idea.
Perfect. So what is the official name of these cheese breads?
In Portuguese is pão de queijo. That pão
Pão?
is pão. It's like an A, P-A-O,
Okay.
but the A there is like a signal that changes to
Uh,
like this sound, yeah. So it's pão,
Pão?
and it translates to bread.
Okay.
And cheese is queijo.
Queijo.
Queijo, yeah. So pão de queijo,
Mm.
and I translate to cheese bread balls here.
Pão de queijo.
Yes, correct. Pão de
Ah!
queijo.
And is that are there any other versions? So this only has cheese in it, but do they
Mhm.
have, I think I was mentioning when I met you that you have other versions of it?
Yeah, there is, for example, you can make, when you are preparing the dough, you can place some olives or some bacon or something. So you have the cheese bread with these little pieces of olive or bacon or onions or anything, but it's less common than the traditional one. And also we have some options that they are filled with something. For example, filled with cream cheese. Then when you bake, you see that inside is even more cheesy than the traditional one. I have the version with cream cheese,
Okay.
but it's not always that I have, because this stock just goes pretty fast. And but I have these two versions. And but basically it's this. And what we usually do as well is, for example, we bake them,
Okay.
and we always can just enjoy each piece by itself, but we can spread, we cut in half and spread some cream cheese, or place a slice of salami, or some shaved ham, or strawberry jam. You have like lots of options, and it goes well with everything. Like,
So that's why my friend said it is the thing he missed the most.
yeah. And in Brazil, you can find it like everywhere. Every coffee shop that you go, usually we have it, and every family can prepare and have it in the freezer. So it's very, very common. You go for a coffee in some friend's house, you
Yes.
probably will have some cheese bread.
But tell me, like, why is it so? Why did it become so popular? Why is it so popular in Brazil?
I think because it's quite easy to prepare. So you mix everything together. And usually, when you prepare one recipe, you have lots of cheese bread. So you usually prepare one recipe. And for example, I'm going to prepare for my family here. So I'm going to prepare. We are going to eat a couple of them, but usually I will be able to freeze them up, and they are very easy to freeze, and also easy to bake, because you don't need to defrost them. They go directly from freezer to oven, and 20 minutes later you have your snack, healthy and nutritious, ready. So I think these are something. And also in the schools in Brazil, it's very common that the cafeteria has this option for kids to buy and to eat. So like all ages, you have people with this snack, and it goes well with lots of things. So you can have it on breakfast, dinner, lunch, and I think that this is the reason.
You know what? I was just going to ask you that. If at what time is it most eaten? But you're saying that any time in the day,
Mhm.
it's a good time
Yeah,
for these cheese
anytime in the
breads.
day. We usually have in breakfast, and also like as an appetizer with the supper, or in the middle of the afternoon between the lunch and the dinner. So, but it goes well with um, many kinds of food. And when you go to a coffee shop, you usually have this option as well. It goes very well with a coffee. So I think it makes it very popular.
It's about that time too. I already have my coffee waiting. I used to be a tea girl myself, but I moved over to coffee since COVID. So, but
Oh,
still.
yeah.
But you know what? I was wondering about not just this food, the cheese bread, but other food in Brazil. And I know you wanted to share some of the famous must eat of
Yeah.
Brazil. Would you like to share that with us now?
Sure, sure. Let me share my screen first, and then I also have another option that I sell at the market,
Sure.
and then people here can find these other options. So, can you see my screen?
Perfectly.
Yeah. Okay. So this one is the first option that we have, that we call coxinha.
Shinya.
It's what's called in English this part of the chicken that you have a bone, and
Oh, like
you
it must be no, yeah,
the
the rib.
thin or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, yeah. So we use this is like if you translate, you it would be little thing. like this,
Okay.
because here, can you see my pointer?
Yes, I do.
The inside of the coxinha is some chicken that's cooked, and then we make the coxinha and fry everything together. But this is very delicious as well and very popular as a snack.
So would that be dark meat then, like the dark part of the chicken, or it could be any type of
It
meat?
could be any type, actually. Yeah, any type, but usually for coxinha is chicken.
I
So
see.
any part, but chicken.
But chicken. It's
Yeah.
so golden brown that looks.
It's delicious. It's fried. So, for example, I usually don't fry that much food, but we can find it everywhere as well.
Perfect.
And mainly in like celebrations like birthday parties, this kind of stuff, we have this option of food.
Okay.
Other thing that we have a lot in Brazil, and you can find it very easy and we like a lot, is pastel.
Pastel. Okay.
Yeah, that's a very thin layer of a dough that's made with basically wheat and water, and then we fill it with this is very there is a variety of options that you can have inside. That's meat and ham and cheese and chicken and a lots of options, and this is fried as well. But when the pastel is fried, it creates a air layer inside between the filling and the dough outside, and it's
Right.
delicious as well. Usually on Sundays we have like street markets in Brazil, kind of a farmer's market, but in the street where they
Okay.
sell vegetables and food, this kind of thing that we usually find at farmers market here in Canada. And
Okay.
we always have a booth that sells pastel. And it's kind of a tradition for many people to go to the market, this kind of markets on Sundays, and have the pastel as a breakfast or
Okay.
something in the morning. And also in the beaches, we find it a lot because it's quite easy to prepare, and then you can find it like booth in the beaches that you can buy the pastel as well.
I was gonna say, when I've traveled, I think one of the places I went to, maybe Costa Rica or somewhere, the
Mm-hmm.
best food that I ever had was on the beach. Just
Mm-hmm.
a lady with a little booth, a little stall. I think it was two lobsters and a fish.
Yeah,
But I can imagine that this looks delicious.
it's interesting because I feel the same. I love being in a small place that the person prepares everything from herself or something, and yeah, and it's delicious as well. I would say that you should write on your list, for example, coxinha, pastel, that you need to, if you visit Brazil, you need to try at least to see how you feel.
Absolutely. I know this one. I've heard
This
of
one,
this.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
I
So
heard on Wednesdays this is a big thing in Brazil.
yes, you are right. On Wednesdays and Saturdays as well, like these 2 days of the week, the restaurants usually have this option. And the name is Feijoada because
Queijoada.
feijoada, feijão in Portuguese is beans.
Okay.
And basically, this is black beans cooked with pork for a long time. So you have very um, tasteful beans with the pork, and we usually eat with rice, the farofa, that's a kind of a manioc flour,
Okay.
but with some spices. So it's not something just dry to eat. It matches a lot with this kind of food. And
Okay.
also this green. I've never found this in here in Canada, but it's similar to a kale. You know that green leaf kale?
No, I'm not familiar with that. What's a kale?
No, it's like it's a dark green leaf,
Okay.
And then it's similar, but I don't know, in Portuguese we call it couve.
Couve. Okay.
Couve, yeah. And here the most similar food that I found is the kale. That's
Kale.
Kale.
Oh, kale. I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, but this is very famous, and we love having feijoada. Here in Canada is more difficult, but we can buy everything and prepare at home. So we find the pork and the black beans and stuff.
I'm
And
actually going to try it. I'm actually going to
oh, you
take a
should.
Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm going to try it and make feijoada because I
Yeah,
heard on
it's
Wednesday you're
delicious.
supposed to eat it, right?
It takes a little bit time because you need to cook for a long time. It's not like something that you say, I'm going to prepare some feijoada for having lunch 1 hour later,
No.
but it worth the
The
efforts that it
efforts.
takes to prepare. It's delicious. And mainly in the winter in Brazil, we have even more because it's a food that, a comfort food. This is
Yes.
the feijoada.
I'm going to try it and I'll let you know how I do.
Awesome. What else? And then I have here the barbecue. That one thing that we usually do in Brazil that's I think it's interesting to share is because here I feel that usually on barbecues we prepare everything and then place it on the table and we have a seat and eat everything together. In Brazil, usually we have the barbecues, for example, we start at noon and then we start making the meat, cheese, chicken,
Mm.
and sausage and everything that we usually have here as well. But we are just biting. We don't. We keep preparing and biting for a couple hours. We don't have a seat on the table with all meats prepared. We just keep biting and talking. This is something that's a bit different.
Um,
And oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I'm sorry. I was reading about this, and it's very different. I think the spices are a little bit different than
Mhm.
any other place, so it's not the traditional barbecue that we think of, right? Is that
Yeah,
true?
I think it's a difference. Yeah, I think it's a little bit different. According to I've seen here since I came to Canada, and I've seen some Canadians doing barbecue. It's a bit different. And also, what's different is that some cuts of meat they
Hmm.
are also different. So I think it makes some difference as well when we place the meat at the barbecue. And usually another thing is that here we have a lot of barbecue with gas. And
Okay.
in Brazil, we basically only have charcoal
Okay. Okay.
to so we put fire on the charcoal and then I think this smoke of the charcoal makes the
Mm.
meat tastes a little bit different as well. And I felt myself actually. We have here one that's charcoal because since we came, we thought, oh my goodness, we only know how to deal with the charcoal.
I understand.
Yeah, and then we bought a one that's charcoal, and this like a couple months ago, my husband found a portable one that uses gas, and we prepared a hamburger in the charcoal and in the gas, and it makes a huge difference in the taste. It was the
Okay.
same like meat, but one each barbecue, and it's interesting how it makes the difference.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah, and also we have some places that serve like restaurants that serve churrasco,
Okay.
and it's interesting because we have a buffet with salad and options, but also the waitress, the waiter and waitress, they come to our table and cut the meat in our plate directly
Hmm.
from the stick. It's
So
an experience as well.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Perfect.
Yeah. And I also have, let me show you another product that I have here that
Okay.
it's a must try and very famous in Brazil. That's the Brigadeiro. Can you see
I
here?
can. I can.
I am going to open the box so you can see.
So are we
This is,
finished with the other foods? Do you want to stop sharing your screen?
I have some places
Oh,
to show
okay.
if you want to see, but the food, this one, the Brigadeiro, would be the last one that I would say. Mark in your list and try to look for it.
So how about we stop sharing your screen? We can share it back because I want to
Okay,
fully see.
sure. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. So, and this is the Brigadeiro. This is the most famous flavor. That's the Brigadeiro.
Oh my goodness.
I call here a Brazilian truffle because it's similar to a chocolate truffle, but this is much creamier than a chocolate truffle. Can you see
Oh
how
yes, I
creamy
can.
this is?
I can see. Oh yes, I can.
Yeah, and then I make everything from scratch, and that's the way that Brazilians enjoy Brigadeiro. Usually, we make at homes and we grow up with this Brigadeiro and this kind of thing in our home, so we all know how to prepare. But the difference is that each family has its own tricks, and
Hmm.
so if 10 people prepare the recipe of Brigadeiro, you feel some differences. This is the something interesting.
Wouldn't that be a perfect Valentine's present, like for next
Yes, I will be
Valentine's?
having some boxes that will
Ah, okay.
be red with some hearts in
Nice.
the market, so you'll be able to find. And like in Christmas, it was a success for Christmas gifts, and then for Valentine's, I believe it's gonna be a great option as well.
What's the white one? I saw there was a white
Yeah,
one in the
there
box.
is one that's this is a coconut. This is we call beijinho. That's little kiss,
Okay.
like translates to little kiss. And this is instead of placing cocoa powder, I use only the pure extract, vanilla extract, and also mixed with some coconut. So you have always the creamy, very creamy texture,
Yes.
but the flavor is completely different. And I have the dark one that changes the amount of cocoa powder that I use to prepare inside,
Hmm.
and also the outside layer that I use dark chocolate, and the white chocolate, that's this one.
Okay. Also, you have about
And
six different of four different varieties that
yeah,
you
I have
sell.
strawberry as well, but
Okay.
strawberry I don't have yet here. I'm going to prepare for Saturday, so I didn't have any ready here to show, but I use pure strawberry extract as well.
Hmm.
And for the outer layer is some pears that are made of strawberry. And I
Okay.
also have the Oreo that has a mini Oreo inside. And these are the flavors that I have. And there is one, the last one that I have here, but to be very honest, if you look at the internet, there are like lots of flavors possible, like
Okay.
nuts and
Hmm.
I don't know, you can lemon and passion fruit. You can just think about something. Probably someone has
Made
tried
it.
it, and yeah. And the one that I recently launched is the Brigadeiro spread. That's the creamiest version of the Brigadeiro. So let me just take a spoon,
Look at
and this,
that.
like, yeah, I just bake a little bit less than the balls, so they are not ready to roll.
Okay.
But this is a version that we have in Brazil uh, often as well. But we eat with a spoon, so we call like spoon brigadeiro. A spoon in Portuguese is colher.
Colère.
Colher, yes. So we just have like the spoon and hum. and eat. Like,
Is it very sweet or?
no, it's not. Actually,
Oh, okay.
the very original recipe is a bit sweet.
Okay.
When I started preparing these for potlucks at work or to give people so I could fuel the customers before having the company, I felt that local people were thinking that it was too sweet,
Okay.
the very original recipe. But then I, instead of use, for example, chocolate powder, I use 100% cocoa powder. So
Okay.
some options that I make that makes it much less sweet than the original version,
Hmm.
but the I feel that people here like can accept much more than the original. But this is not when you feel like, oh my goodness, it's too sugar. No, it's not.
It's not. It's just
No, you can
feel good.
you can't even feel the that sugar.
No.
No, no.
Okay. Good. And and I guess I wanted to talk a little because I love supporting local business. And you're a local business and you're also
Mhm,
Brazilian, so you're perfect.
mhm. Thank you.
When did you start your business?
I started 1 year ago in February last year.
Nice.
And when I was about to start at Guelph Farmers Market, because in addition to the Kitchener Market, I have a space at Guelph Farmers as well.
Okay.
So you can find us in both markets. But then the COVID started in March, so I had to pause for a couple months. But then I was able to return, and here I am 1 year later. And yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you. I think it's a great addition for the region and also for bringing to Canadians and people who live here another option for snacks and food and gift and a treat for themselves.
Absolutely. But I think you also you have a website as well, don't you? And are you able to order online? Is that new
I
for you?
have, yeah. The only thing is that I had a partnership with a delivery
I
company,
see.
but they just were sold to another company. And I'm not very sure that I will be able to keep my partnership with them, because now I would have to go to Toronto to drop off my products
I see.
so they would deliver. But sometimes my delivery is like in Hamilton, so it doesn't make any sense for me to go to Toronto, and they usually to come to my door to pick up the orders. But I can definitely send through Canada Post
I see. Oh,
the Brigadeiros. Yeah, they are okay. I pack them in a way that they will be fine until the destination. The only thing for the frozen dough,
mm,
I couldn't find yet some option for like deliveries so far away. So I can deliver in our region only, like Guelph, Kitchener, Waterloo, and Cambridge.
okay.
But other than that, it's a bit difficult yet for the cheese bread.
So anyone who's in our region, the KW Cambridge Guelph, we are the ones who get to who take advantage and have the best.
Yeah, for a while, yeah, maybe in the future I want to
Sure.
make it possible, but currently this is what I can offer and if I am able to do.
No, that's perfect. Perfect. Actually, I just heard my timer go off.
Mhm.
So it's about that time.
Yeah, awesome.
So you know what? I'm wanna go and grab that for from the oven.
Mhm.
But while we're doing that, how about you share your screen and we could talk a little bit about the beaches and the other things you'd like to show us about
Yes,
Viva
sure.
Brazil.
Yes, let me share my screen again here.
And I've always been curious, what does the Viva mean?
Viva, yes, it's a word in Portuguese, and that translates to, we use for two, there are two meanings. So Viva is like live, so leave Brazil, so people have an opportunity to live a little bit of Brazil through our food, and so it translates to leave. And also it means celebrate. So for example, when you are celebrating Brazil, like Viva Brazil, yay, Viva, or like Viva Tummy, yay, we say like Viva, this kind of thing. So this word has two meanings.
Okay.
And I think I maybe should do something to share this message of the word because no one knows, right?
Oh, that's no, we
It's,
appreciate that.
yeah, I think it's gonna be fun and interesting for people. But yeah, this is the meaning of the word, so I decided for this name.
Nice. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
No
Look at
problem.
this. Beaches.
Yeah, in Brazil we have like beautiful beaches, and the east coast from north to south we have beaches. So this is this picture shows a beach that's close to south, where I used to live, 1 hour far from this place, for example.
Okay.
And this is a beach that we have more like north, so the north of Brazil,
Okay.
northeast. There we have this kind of water, and the water in the north are like warmer than in the south
Oh,
as
okay.
well.
Oh, that's good to know.
And another place to
This
go
is
in Brazil
iconic.
that's very famous, yes, it's
Mm,
the Rio de Janeiro.
mm-hmm,
That's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
mm-hmm.
I, my family and we live in São Paulo, close to São Paulo, in a smaller city close to São Paulo.
Okay.
But I've been in Rio once, and it's amazing. It's beautiful when they have beautiful beaches and people are nice. Usually, Brazilian people are also known as very nice and welcoming people. I feel that other people say that, oh, Brazilian, they treat people from other countries very well and so on. And I feel that it's true.
It is true.
Yeah, and this is like a very touristic place.
Okay.
So you go there, you see people from everywhere, and it's beautiful.
It's
And the
good.
last picture is São Paulo. That
This is close to where
sometimes,
you're from, huh?
yeah, I live in a smaller city that in Brazil um, we call a smaller city, but it has around 700,000 people in this city. That's very big considering our references here, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And and it was close to São Paulo as well.
Okay.
And this is São Paulo. That's a big city with like more than 10 million people
Okay.
living. And sometimes when we Brazilians compare the places like Brazil and Canada, we say that Toronto is like São Paulo.
Okay.
That's a big city and busy and people going back and forth for everywhere.
Right.
And Vancouver is like Rio de Janeiro,
Oh,
that
good to
has the
know.
beaches and like I feel I've never been to in Vancouver,
Right.
but as people mention Brazilian in Brazilian conversations, we feel that they have a more relaxed environment and this kind of stuff, a slower pace. I don't know. It's just something I've heard, and I've never been there to see myself. But sometimes we compare this. We do this comparison,
I see. Understood.
and that's it. That I had to show, but um, it's a beautiful country with lots of nature and food. It's delicious. I can't say that much, but it's amazing.
Well,
And the weather.
well, yes, of course. You see those beaches? That sold me. And this is really good and really interesting because when I think about Brazil, I you tend to focus on the carnival and the festivities
Mhm.
aspect of it, but your conversation today opens me up to a much wider understanding of of the food and that aspect of it. And then
Mhm.
later on this week I'll be learning a little bit more about the other other festivals that they have, and the Amazonia and the other
Mm.
traditions there.
Mhm.
So I'm going to try and explore as much of Brazil as I possibly can this week. But you know what? We started off with a lunchtime chat, and so right now I want to taste. Let me see if I got this right. Pau de queijo.
Pão de queijo,
Pão de
correct.
queijo.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Pão de queijo.
Pão de queijo. All right, so let's go try this together. So I have it here.
Okay. So
So
I have
this
here
is
as
it
well.
right here. Right?
Yeah.
We baked it for the 20 minutes. And so I'm going to
Okay.
break it open. So you can see
It's
how
cheesy.
gooey that cheesy is. So we're going to
Yeah.
try this. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. There's that crunchy outside. It tastes like a bread and cheese from my own
Hmm.
country. But inside has this chewy, almost like a gooey, soft texture inside. Oh,
Yeah.
that's delicious.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, this is correct. Inside we need to feel the cheesy and texture of the cheese
Mm-hmm.
and fluffy.
And
I'm
oh,
glad you like it.
it is. Oh no, you have to teach me. How do I say delicious in
Delicious.
Portuguese?
We say que delícia.
Que delícia.
Yes, it's quite similar. Delicious. Que delícia. Like we try and que delícia.
Ah, que delícia.
Yes, correct.
Perfect. And so I think I wanted to. Is there leave you the ability to say any last words that you'd like to have? We've almost run out of our of time today.
Okay, I would like to thank you again, Tammy. It was a pleasure meeting you and having this opportunity to bring some of our tradition and culture. You'll be very welcome to be at my booth in the future. And I'm glad you enjoyed knowing more about Brazil. It's a huge country,
Mm-hmm.
and we have lots of different traditions for each region as well, because it's a huge country.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks a lot. I loved your project of talking to people from some places that you'd like to leave for an experience for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, thanks a lot for having me. It was a pleasure meeting you and being here today.
No, thank you. And because we are in Brazil this week, obrigado.
Obrigada. For ladies, for
Obrigado.
girl, we say A in the end. So
Ah,
obrigada.
okay, I learned
Yeah.
something. Thank you.
And for boys, we
Obrigada.
say obrigado. Yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
obrigada.
Obrigada. Correct.
So, Fernanda from Viva Brazil, I want to thank you again for joining me today and really, really appreciate you taking the time. And this has been fantastic. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Tommy.
All
See
right,
you.
bye bye.
Bye.